Hi, good evening, viewers. Welcome to my channel. I'm getting a good response, and it gives a motivation for me now at this stage to come up with more videos and with more concepts of not directly related with the management education or management studies or the topics related to management, but in general, it is applicable, and one should at least know about it. And being a technical person or a commercial person, it becomes very easy. Even if you are not working somewhere, you are, it's not related to it, but still, because we interact with the people, we work with the people, and therefore it is very necessary for all of us to imbibe or to learn to imbibe certain qualities, because it does matter when we even talk about in if we are not even working. So coming back now, in my last yesterday video, I've discussed about, or the last two videos for that matter, I've discussed about the various personality traits being categorized into four different categories, namely the physical traits or the behavioral traits, the intellectual traits, and the psychological traits. Now, having discussed and having said all the various traits, I've discussed a little about, to give an idea as to what does it means. But similarly, uh, one should understand, and would like to make it. I would like to emphasize on it that the character of a person is very difficult to change overnight. It takes not even a little time. It takes a good amount of time to change the character of the person as far as these the personality traits are concerned, because we are in a habit of what we have developed over a period of time. It cannot be it cannot be changed overnight. But if we do every effort consciously, definitely, and we do work, not all the parameters, we select, for example, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters, and we work upon it. Similarly, it becomes a cycle. So it will take a little more time, because we are not in a hurry. It keeps on going. It is not like I have developed one trait and I do not my required and I can focus on. No, it is an ongoing process. From the conscious state to the subconscious state or unconscious state. So this is what I'm trying to emphasize upon. When we practice something, we start with the conscious mind that, okay, fine, I have to I have to, for example, body language, I have to deal with this. I want to uh, you know uh, I will promote or I project like this only. So this is earlier, it becomes a conscious state, but then it goes to unconscious state. It is very similar to when we learn, for example, bicycle. All those who have learned, must remember that how difficult it was when we started with the bicycle, when we just started learning as to how to go up with the cycle and how to ride on a cycle. But all the focus was on as to how to on the brakes, on the pedals, and on to maintain the balance over a period of time. When we practice it daily, then we go for a cycle ride, and we think about so many things. We talk, and we do not it is very seldom that we have to care about as to this is my brake, or where are the pedals, or where are the how to maintain the balance. That becomes it becomes from the subconscious mind. So this is where the personality traits are also concerned. We have to focus on this in earlier, and when we learn certain things, it goes into the subconscious mind, and that becomes repetitive in nature, and not much effort is then required. Earlier, yes, when we try to learn something, more efforts is required to learn something. Now, this is one aspect to it. Another very closely related aspect is the soft skills. Now, there are certain points in the traits which comes under the soft skill. But again, when we talk about soft skills, as a person, as a business person, we should know about it categorically as to what do we mean by soft skills. Now, mentioning of these soft skills is that, because a person has got going a little back, it is technical skills are related. It helps in securing a basic position in any organization. Technical skills will lead you to the basic position, but in a career, for that matter. But only the soft skill can ensure a person to retain it, climb it, and achieve excellence. Meaning thereby, these technical skills land up to your job, because we should have a technical knowledge about as to into which field we are into. So that requires a proper. That is earlier I mentioned about are the functional skills. Now, functional and technical skills become this, whether we are into marketing, whether we are into computers, whether we are into engineering, whatever it is, that becomes a technical field. Commerce, even that becomes say what I mean by a technical skill. A technical skill will end up to a position, but when you come into this system and you enter into a business organization, for example, in a lower level, there are three basic levels I've mentioned earlier: the lower level, the middle level, and the higher level. Now, depending upon your qualifications, depending upon your experience, you are being put together. So, a new entrant, for that matter, who has just completed his studies, maybe acquired, say, technical degree or a commercial degree, for that matter, enters into the basic level. So he lands up with the job. But learning these skills, will make you move a higher. Now, when we talk about these people who have achieve success uh, in their life means into whatever work they do. So these are basically, if you look upon, it is more of the soft skills or the commercial skills required to move up the ladder. Technical skills, again, I do not say it takes a backstage, sorry, but it is, more so comes to commercially, and therefore the soft skills are very important to learn. Now, when I put up into soft skills, it is related to your self confidence, maybe, or the leadership skills, the communication skills, problem solving skills, interpersonal skills, work ethics, teamwork. Now, these are the various skills, put together, and these are categorized as soft skills. Now, very important is the your work ethics and interpersonal skills. Now, if I focus on, if you are able to, interpersonal means, that is, inter means between the two people, two or more people for that matter, technically. So your interpersonal skills, plays a very important role. And these, the certain parameters have to be taken into consideration while when discuss about interpersonal discussions. For so many things have to be taken care of, so that the other person should not either feel offended nor feel flattered or something like that. So, it is, for example, one-to-one communication. So in equal wavelength, you are discussing something, you are into a serious discussion, or into say technical discussion, whatever it is. So interpersonal skills, because the people, the person to whom you are dealing with, all those people, they are of different nature, from the different background, from different education background, maybe religion, maybe language, so on and so forth. There are so many factors, and therefore one you have to change according to the according to the person you are dealing with. And therefore this is where interpersonal skills plays an important role. Now, for example, I take a very light example, and say, for example, of a salesman. Now, for example, a salesman, goes and goes to a certain house and and ring the doorbell. For example, a lady comes in, and the lady seems to be, from her appearance, that she is, a simple Indian housewife, and therefore, if maybe not knowing, say, English language, and if the salesman, mistook or changes something. Now, change, for example, I'm saying is, for example, he starts his conversation with this simple lady, maybe uneducated lady, with English language, for example. So now this lady will become, reluctant to talk, reluctant to discuss, would like to avoid it somehow. And it will not serve the purpose. Though your communication skills were good, you are able to, you greeted her, good morning, ma'am, and this is, I'm from this company, and this product, and you explain, uh, theoretically comes like this. You want to impress the other person, but you fail in analyzing the other person. Now, for example, if you go into another house and you ring the doorbell, and the very sophisticated lady opens the door, and you greet her like namaskar bhenji, or I have brought this product. Now again, without doing it, there is nothing wrong when you address a lady, in Hindi, in Indian culture, like bhenji. Now this is something, I mean, this is one of the best address you can have to for a person not related to. But now this person, this lady will become reluctant to as to what Benji is talking about, because she's not trying to put her into this particular personality. This is where personality comes. So who has to change? The salesman has to change, and looking out the certain things, he should be able to calculate as to what kind of and how much to how to approach this particular person. Now this is where most of the salesmen also makes a big mistake. I have seen so many people that they're not able to calculate on the very split of a second, that as to what should be the approach to make a presentation in the person of you are standing opposite to. So this is where this plays an important role. This is why I say one should able to develop the interpersonal. Nobody says I'm not I do not know English, or I do not know Hindi, or I do not understand. It is the other person. You have to put up a frame mind as to how good I am at reaching to the wavelength of the other person to begin with. So this is a small example. I just wanted to emphasize upon that as to what uh, these interpersonal skills, why they are important one to learn. Now this is again a learning process. Now all these skills, soft skills and the technical skills, uh, put together, they are very important for a beginner, for a person of a fresher, for example, who is acquiring or who has acquired a technical degree, whether any degree for that matter. And therefore, one should be, why do we go for professional courses? To because we have to enter into a business world, into an area which I'm comfortable with. Now after doing your any course, if you then decide, so that would be that would be a big setback, and to yourself, and to the life you are looking out for, or your career you are looking out for into particular field. And therefore, it is very important at the early stage, maybe at the stage of 9 10, one should be able to try to put up your as to try to know about your aptitude and your interest. So very important that the students, even some of the young students who are not into who into technical field, they often come to me to discuss about, and I mean, I also give guidance, and so many the people who are into business world and have a certain amount of experience, it becomes very easy for us, because either they have already made mistakes earlier also as a professional, or they have got to know about from so many people about as to what wrong one does at a stage where proper counseling or proper guidance has not been given. In India, it is, for example, yes, of course, when we talk about urban students, they have got the knowledge about because of the internet, because of the people around, but most of the students, those who are into remote areas, those whose educational schools, for example, schools are not good in that matter, or they have not faced the teachers of that nature which can guide. So guidance and counseling becomes very important for a child, and to decide upon as to what should be in which area the person should go. That is what we call as selection of a career, a particular stream. So it depends upon mostly I have seen the student says, okay, fine, my friend goes into this field, so I will also go into this field, or the father or the mother or somebody influential in the family so try to put on pressure on the child to go into a particular field. So but it should be, the student is very difficult, to self-analyze as to what are the interests. He or she should talk to the professionals, so that the aptitude is not. For example, if the aptitude is not in mathematics, so this is again, it is very difficult then to enter into a computer field or into engineering, because these two areas, they are the basic fundamentals is mathematics. Now, if anybody is not good at playing with the numbers, so it would not be justice, because if one do not have an aptitude, a flair for understanding mathematics or the mathematical problems, then it is decided upon to look upon to the other avenues of life, to explore other avenues. There is no one, because aptitude is very important, and your interest also. If you do have the aptitude but you do not have the interest, now these are again clashes. If you are good in mathematics, that does not guarantee that you become a good engineer, because you do not have interest in engineering, and therefore this we cannot have a conclusive answer. Okay, fine, I'm good in mathematics, so I will become a good computer professional, or I would become a good engineer. No, again, at the half of the story is that one should be able to explore as to what are his or her interests. Therefore, second important aspect of this is not one aspect. Another aspect is that what are the strengths and weaknesses. To list down the strengths and weaknesses of a particular interest, not of a particular aptitude is one thing, but no, interest. Now, interest could be, your for example, your interest into business, your interest into medicine, your interest into engineering, your interest into computers, interest into wildlife, whatever, photography, and so on and so forth. So list down as to this is my the area of interest. I would like to go into these field or this field, and therefore then you look out for the strengths and weaknesses. This will give you a database as to, yes, I have got these are the strengths which will learn me to which will help me in pursuing my interest. And now interest here is a job and related to a career. A career is a very long time span. We keep on switching jobs, that will not help us. The job plus into job into we should look out, or the one should look out for the jobs into the area of the interest, or the into which the student or the wants to make a career. That is maybe switching of jobs, but into the one similar field. Again, it is very important. The third important point for any student before joining into or before deciding upon a career or the stream is the career options available in the market as per your academics choice. Now, look out for what is your academic choice. Academic choices, the various streams you have, professionally courses, or whatever you want to do. Then you see as to what are the career choice. For example, I've got my interest. I know my interest. I know as to what to study, but there are not many career options available. Sorry, not many career options are available. The career options are limited, and therefore it becomes. I mean, example is, for example, so many boys and girls, they want to pursue into films and into modeling. Now, those who join these, they have got a high stakes, because if you do not click into it as to what career choice you have. Now, for this, for example, maybe I do not want to defame or something, or I'm not against the films and modeling, but again, that do not require a technical degree, or for example, even a commercial degree. One should have the characteristics, the traits, and you are straight in. But if you are not able to, your interest is into it, but you are not able to get success there, for example, then what is left? So this second option is very important to have, and this is what the last point here is as to career options available in this interest. This is one aspect, and some alternate career options if you decide to change the stream in future. So this is again very important, as to in which stream you want to, and then as to in which stream, if given a chance, or maybe you make a mistake in choosing your career, as to what avenues could be to then, so that you may able to switch on. I have seen, it has become a very big thing that all the BTech engineering students, they also go into management field. So that way, both the openings are there for them in engineering field as well as in the commercial field. Or maybe in the engineering, they require a commercial, because I said earlier, and I emphasize upon, because anybody who is entering into the business world, whether technically or commercially, or whether into any area, the business world requirements or the business game rules remains the same for any aspirant who wants to come into this business world. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining me.